Wow, wow. It is extremely rare for me to be genuinely surprised about something. Spend as much time as I do sitting in the balcony of Woke United Methodist, hearing all of these stories from the world of the twisted, you kind of become desensitized to shock and awe. 9-year-old is thinking about transitioning. Doesn't shock me anymore. Teachers not only encourage the transition, but hide it from the parents. Sadly, I heard it all before too many times. Joe Biden gives a speech without fumbling his words or calling his wife his husband. Now that would be shocking. But other than that, there's just not much that can surprise me. But I got to admit, I got to be honest with you. I was a little bit shocked earlier this morning. While I was prepping my video on Zerlina Maxwell, an email notification popped up on my screen. It was an email from one of my viewers sending me the full ratings report from last week. The subject of the email read, "Another MLB ratings disaster." Now, that alone is not surprising. We have extensively documented the struggles of Major League Baseball all season here on the channel. Attendance is down throughout the league. I believe the last time we talked about it, if I remember correctly, 23 of 30 teams in baseball has seen a steep decline in attendance. Ratings are flat for regional sports networks off the decline from last season. National ratings have been a little bit of a mixed bag, but there really hasn't been that many positives in terms of national ratings. The All-Star Game set record low ratings, but KC, it was the most watched All-Star Game this year. Baseball even beat out the Pro Bowl. Yeah. Who fucking cares? I actually had a staunch defender of baseball point that out to me the last time we talked about ratings. You think ESPN, you think Fox gives a shit that the Major League Baseball All-Star Game beat the Pro Bowl? No. I'll tell you what they do care about, the declining ratings throughout the regular season. Perhaps that's the reason ESPN has cut their Major League Baseball coverage down to only one time a week. The Field of Dreams game, it was down nearly 50% compared to last season. The 3 million viewers that tuned in that night last month, that represents the largest audience for Major League Baseball this season. Now just think about that for a second. The regular season's almost over. We're only a couple of weeks away from the playoffs. And the largest audience you've been able to attract is 3 million viewers? There were NFL preseason games that double that number. There hasn't been a Major League Baseball game this season that's topped the championship game in women's college basketball. Yet, the league doesn't seem to care. They don't seem to be too concerned. Rob Manfred, he is more concerned with keeping his open invitation to the Traveling Butt Bongo Festival than he is with improving his struggling league. When I analyzed the ratings chart that this viewer sent me, there were a couple of things that immediately jumped out to me. One was the audience demographics, or in the case of Major League Baseball, the lack of audience in the key demo. We all know that Major League Baseball has the oldest audience of any sport, the oldest and the most conservative. According to the data, the average Major League Baseball fan is white in his 50s or 60s, and he leans further to the right of the political spectrum than he does to the left. Baseball is struggling to attract a younger audience, but I didn't know it was this bad. Check it out for yourself. That figure in the middle column, that represents the number of viewers in the key 18 to 49 demographic. Now, you could tally up the total of all nationally broadcast Major League Baseball games last week, and they would not exceed the 18 to 49 audience for fucking NC State, East Carolina on ESPN Saturday morning. Now, check out the ratings on Fox Saturday night. But KC, they were competing with the opening weekend of college football. Yeah, I realize that. But is that really an excuse for Major League Baseball to fail to draw 1 million viewers on broadcast television? If this were the WNBA, we would be eviscerating them. We have trashed the WNBA all season for the ratings they've drawn on ABC, which leads to my next point, and the thing that really surprised me the most about all this. Sunday afternoon, ABC brought us more exciting action from the dump. Ooh, it was a nail biter. I'm being serious. It was literally a nail biter. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, she felt occupants at the dump were growing tired of traditional Olympic events. I mean, there's only so many times you can watch dudes dump garbage in the trash compactor before it gets a bit boring. There's only so many times you can count the facial hair on the handful of women in the dump before the excitement is lost. Kathy Engelbert, she decided to spice things up a little bit. She presented her fans with a nail-biting competition. Join us this Sunday as 10 birthing persons we assume identify as women face off in a fierce battle of nail-biting. Will Brianna Stewart chew her nail to the nub? Will other unknown woke welfare recipients have enough of their nails left to chew? Which dump will be able to accumulate the most nails? We don't know. We will find out Sunday live from the Las Vegas dump right here on ABC. Now, I showed you just a second ago, Major League Baseball. They drew 949,000 on Fox Saturday night. This is the end of the regular season. This is the time when ratings are supposed to be going up. They should be increasing. There should be excitement heading into the playoffs. Instead, Major League Baseball is heading into the postseason with the excitement of a wet fart during intercourse. 949,000 on Fox for baseball. The WNBA, 905,000 on ABC. Really? Seriously? You mean to tell me one of the big three, one of the supposedly premier leagues in this country, was almost beaten by the dump divers? I did not think this was possible. I actually cross-checked these ratings through another source. Sure enough, same result. To make matters worse, the dump actually did beat Major League Baseball in the 18-49 demo, meaning this past weekend, more people my age and younger were more interested in watching men bite their nails than watching men play baseball. Unfortunately, it gets even worse. Oh, does it get even worse? Last week, there were 8 Major League Baseball games broadcast on national television. Only 2 beat the dump Olympics on ABC, and 4 baseball games were beaten by the least watched WNBA playoff game last week. But Casey, those 4 games aired on MLB Network. So, the vast majority of WNBA playoff games last week were broadcast on ESPN2. ESPN2's carried in 76 million households. MLB Network, 70 million. It's an even playing field. The fucking Yankees, the biggest draw in baseball, the fucking Yankees were beaten last week by the WNBA. Of all 4 WNBA games, none of them reached fewer than 100,000 viewers in the 18-49 demo. Major League Baseball, 5 failed to hit that mark, with all but 1 failing to reach greater than 75,000. Now, I keep focusing on the 18-49 demo because that is the demographic advertisers care about. That's who they're paying for. Television networks, they would rather have an overall audience of 1 million with half that number in the key demo than have an audience of 3 million with 100,000 falling in the 18-49 demo. Right now, the WNBA is attracting a younger audience than Major League Baseball. But Casey, this isn't fair. You're comparing the regular season in baseball to the playoffs in the WNBA. No. We are not falling back on that excuse. If we were comparing to the NBA, fine, I would bite into that shit sandwich. Even though I wouldn't have to because the NBA regular season outdraws baseball anyway. But we are not using that excuse for the WNBA. There is no excuse. There is absolutely no reason the WNBA should be beating Major League Baseball. None. And don't mistake this video as me being happy about this. If you've been subscribed to this channel, I don't know, for more than a week, you know how I feel about the WNBA. If cancel culture wants to cancel anything, it should be this fucking dump attempting to emulate basketball. But again, Major League Baseball, they just don't seem to be concerned about this. Rob Manfred, he is more worried about convincing his dwindling fan base that he doesn't hate baseball. Back in June, ESPN did an interview with Rob Manfred, and that was the key point of the interview. I don't hate baseball. I don't hate baseball. I'm trying to save the league. Oh, really? Really? Because it seems to me you are actively destroying it. How is hosting drag shows saving Major League Baseball? How is dedicating the entire month of June to Pride saving baseball? Can anyone tell me one thing Rob Manfred's done over the last 2 years that has improved the state of Major League Baseball? A couple of weeks ago, Hall of Famer Rod Carew, he went public with a dinner conversation that he had with Rob Manfred. Rod Carew, like the rest of us, is disgusted with the current product. Instead of Rob Manfred listening or perhaps taking his advice, he got pissed off that Rod Carew went public with his grievances. Like I've told you guys before, there is not another league more out of touch with their audience than Major League Baseball. Instead of marketing to guys like me, trying to bring me back to the game, Rob Manfred, he chooses to market the league to 7% of the population. In the LGBT community, how many do you think are diehard fans of Major League Baseball? Even if 100% of them were, it would not be enough to save the league. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say baseball's dying. I won't say the league is on life support, but it's definitely heading in that direction. Fans are voting with their wallets and their remote. But the thing is Rob Manfred listening? You let me know. Do you think Rob Manfred is doing anything to improve baseball? Also, were you as shocked as I was that the fucking WNBA is beating baseball in the 18-49 demo? And do you agree with me that it's a fair comparison? Baseball regular season, WNBA playoffs. Do you agree? If you don't, tell me why. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.